show on the Monday edition. Mr. Relevant, Alex Strouf, Joshy DiMaggio, Will Sommers, Hunter Vaughn with you. Happy Groundhog's Day, everybody. Joshy, I imagine you're a big fan of the rodent.
No.
Okay, well, we will...
Screw that stupid rodent.
I saw the one in Pennsylvania said longer winter.
The one in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil.
There you go.
It's it strikes me as something that is from a bygone era that is probably best left there. Doesn't seem necessarily humane to the animal, if I were to be...
You feel that way about a lot of things, though, don't you? Things that we continue to do that should be left behind.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Guess how many groundhogs made a prediction this year?
Like in the country, in the world?
This is in the world. It's including Canada, but mostly the U.S.
I would say somewhere between 15 and 30.
77 groundhogs.
And do we have results from all 77?
I have them right here. Do you want me to go through all 77?
No, I just want a grand total. How many?
Oh, no, I don't have the grand total. I mean, it's basically pretty 50-50.
Okay. But you're choosing to believe the 50 that say early spring?
I only believe Woodstock Willie. That's my groundhog go-to. Punxsutawney Phil hits at a 35% rate. So
where's Woodstock Willie?
In Woodstock, Illinois, at the site of the original movie Groundhog Day.
Got it.
And he predicted spring.
Got it. So did Jimmy in Sun Prairie.
The worst name for the groundhog, too. Going through some of the names, Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy's the man. He bit the mayor's ear once.
Yeah, but there's so many better ones than Jimmy.
I guess I won't argue with that. All right. Plenty to get into. Plenty to get into today. As the Packers Friday and today have now made things official. They announced Jonathan Gannon today as their defensive coordinator. Prior to that, they made Goody and Russ Ball and Matt LaFleur's extension official on Friday. So there you go. We're a couple weeks behind the news cycle, according to 1265 Lombardi Avenue, but those things are now official. But I've got something on my mind, Joshy, regarding the Packers, and I've been stewing for about the last 26 hours on this.
Oh, boy.
Yep, strap in. Because... So yesterday on Sunday Karma, every Sunday from 10 to noon, myself, Craig Karmazin, Greg Scalzo, Kyle Wallace on ESPN Wisconsin, we have Jason Wilde on. And our conversation with Jason Wilde is much less interviewee, more so conversational. And we got into the idea of, I asked him the question effectively, which position should be priority number one? Which position group should be priority number one this offseason for Brian Gutekunst? And then I realized that we are entering maybe the most crucial offseason of Brian Gutekunst's tenure as the general manager in Green Bay. He's going to have a full-blown reinvention project for a lot of this roster without a first-round pick. What I mean by that, let's look at the offensive line. Andy Herman tweeted out something to the effect of Aaron Banks, if he's back on what effectively should be viewed in terms of the cap as a one-year, $18 million deal. Okay, so Joshy, just yes or no, you think Aaron Banks is worth $18 million?
Unfortunately, probably.
Okay.
And I say that just because of the upheaval you have likely at center and at left tackle. Needing three offensive linemen.
Starters.
Yeah, is tough.
Right, so I would imagine he's probably back.
Yes.
But you would save $4 million by cutting him, but that's a decision you eventually have to make with a guy that you signed for way too much money last offseason. You mentioned some of the upheaval, to use your word. Elton Jenkins will likely be cut loose. Rasheed Walker and Sean Ryan are both free agents. Okay, so that is actually four ideal starters, or four of your starters from this past year. Now, obviously, Jordan Morgan can kick over to left tackle and replace Rasheed Walker. But if you let Banks walk, or you cut him, and you don't re-sign Walker and Ryan, you're looking at two starting guards. Belton is likely a starting guard next year, and a starting center, and that's a lot to figure out without a first-round pick. Let's move on to the defensive line. The Rashawn Gary experiment probably should come to an end.
It's done.
You think it's done?
Done.
He's
my most confident one that is gone out of all the...
Unless he takes a significant pay cut?
I don't think even then.
Okay, but
I think when you watch somebody give up on the field and show lack of effort, that means the end.
No disagreement for me.
Yeah.
But that then leaves you without Rashawn Gary. Kingsley Enagbare is a free agent.
I think he comes back.
I hope you're right. Devontae Wyatt coming off of a leg injury. Hopefully he's good to go by the regular season. But your defensive tackle depth stinks. I mean, we saw what it looked like at the end of the season, really throughout the season, especially after Wyatt went down. You've got no depth at defensive tackle. So you need to reinvent, to a point, the entirety of the defensive line. You have Parsons back, you have Wyatt back. That's all you know right now, LVN. You've got some other things to figure out. Who's your depth edge rushers? Who is starting opposite of Devontae Wyatt? Is it Carl Brooks still? Do you upgrade? Do you need to add some depth at defensive line? And then, of course, cornerback. I know you've got a Pro Bowler in Keyshawn Nixon, super deserving. Carrington Valentine does know how to tackle, and Nate Hobbs, I would imagine, is probably the second most confident Packer that they should cut this offseason.
Probably.
So, I mean, right, Bo Melton's a fun story, but he's not a cornerback. So you've got two cornerbacks locked in Valentine and Nixon wants a raise. Hobbs might be back. You barely know who's playing defensive line, especially on the interior. An offensive line, you might have 60% new starters next year. All of this without a first-round pick. Your first pick is projected to be roughly number 52. Likely will be number 52, but obviously with compensatory picks and whatnot, that could get shuffled around. You could move. But 52 is the projected first pick the Packers have in the 2026 NFL draft. Could you get a contributor/starter at pick 52? Sure. Mm-hmm. But the odds of that guy being a star, obviously slimmer than if you were picking, say, at 22 or 20.
With the Packers, you never know. Sometimes their best picks are 2 through 7.
I don't disagree with, especially under Goody. But my point in all of this is, Joshy, this offseason is ginormous for Brian Gutekunst. Because there is a lot of things to figure out, and this is the same guy that a year ago said it's time we start competing for championships. For a team that is ultimately reliant on their stars, they just don't have that many. They're relying on Jordan Love. They're relying on Tucker Kraft. They're relying on Micah Parsons. You could probably throw Xavier McKinney in that category. Those are 4 stars you have. That's the end of the list. And now you've got to figure out both sides of the trenches and your cornerback room with minimal draft capital, no first-round pick, and your cap strapped, but we'll see how much the cap goes up and what they're able to do in free agency. And look, we've seen them do some cool things before in terms of moving money around and making things work, but it's going to be an interesting road the next couple of months between free agency and the NFL draft on how the Packers address all of these holes. Because it feels like they have many more than I even anticipated until I realized that yesterday.
I'm not as concerned as you. The cap is set to rise by $25 million. That gives the Packers a lot of room.
But it gives everybody else a lot of room.
They have opportunity. Yeah, but when the Packers want a deal, they make a deal happen. That's become pretty clear.
Yep.
When they wish to make stuff happen, they do. They get creative with the contracts. You get people in there for decent amounts of money. To me, it's pretty simple. I'm not going back and reversing the deal for Micah Parsons. So no first-round picks for the next 2 years. We understood that, and I make that deal every single time, and I keep doing it. Yep. I think you probably do have to live with some downgrades at some positions, but that's just the nature of building a contender, especially when you have 2 of the highest-paid guys at their respective positions in quarterback and edge rusher. Those are the 2 spots you're most frequently looking to find those options at. I think you can improve with some of the young guys that you saw last year with Barron Sorrell and Colin Oliver, both looking like edge options. Mm-hmm. Jordan Morgan moves to left tackle. You can resign Sean Ryan if the market doesn't seem good enough and you're looking out there.
I think that's been the hope from some Packers fans because he was pretty good, all things considered.
Anthony Belton seems to be a guy who could definitely grow into a very good right guard next to Zach Tom. So the cornerbacks and defensive tackle can be a concern, but that's sort of, when I look at the roster, the glaring issues are corner and defensive tackle. Take 2 each. Start some competition.
Didn't we also say that last year, though? Same positions? Less defensive tackle.
Yeah, no.
Because Kenny Clark was still on the team.
Right, not as much defensive tackle. We did talk about depth there, and they did make, like, Sorrell is a guy that can play both strictly edge or slide down to like a 5 or 7 technique if they want to. He's big enough to do it. Oliver is certainly an edge only type of guy. But you have to basically weather the storm until Micah gets back, and then you feel pretty good about your edge at that point because they're still betting on LVN. He's not.
Are you still betting on LVN?
No. Do I think he's good enough based on his effort level to be the guy on the other side from Micah Parsons? Probably.
Yeah.
I think he's an upgrade from Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
So, the guy you want next to someone like Micah Parsons is the effort guy. When things break down and the guy needs to evade, you want LVN screaming to go clean up the mess that Micah Parsons has created. That's the sort of deal that I think you work with. You invest in corner and defensive tackle. They definitely need to get bigger there. That, to me, seemingly is going to be a focus of the Packers, like size. Because those guys they were bringing in there were big guys, but they weren't any good. Mm-hmm. So they want somebody that can create and run stuff because outside of Devontae Wyatt, they don't have that. I'm not worried about it, and I don't think Brian Gutekunst is really under any sort of microscope. I think he's pretty gilded.
No. I'm not saying he's going to lose his job if this team underperforms next year. I don't think his seat is any hotter than coaches.
I mean, it all goes back to the majority of us think you biffed the 2 free agents you signed. Now, the good thing about biffing those free agents is you didn't really commit all that much to them, despite them having
decent money for banks.
Right. But, they're not the type of contracts that's going to hang over your head. They can get out of them pretty quickly and pretty easily. And that's where you give yourself flexibility. You figure you restructure in some way Josh Jacobs, that frees up some cap space. You probably do some some extensions that also you can move money around and make things easier. You start adding void years like we remember them doing at the end of the Aaron Rodgers area. There's plenty of ways to operate. Mm-hmm. I think the cap is... I think these people saying the cap isn't real is overstated, but they also think it's too much of a hard and fast number because a lot of teams borrow from the future and with the team that they currently have. So I don't think that roster was that far away from a Super Bowl when everything was clicking.
Yeah, but that's the issue with being as star reliant as they are, right? Because I think when you look at the 2 Super Bowl teams,
I don't think you win Super Bowls without stars.
That I don't disagree with, but I think when you look at the 2 Super Bowl teams, that's more well-oiled machine than it is star reliant. Both teams, right?
Drake May was the driving force for that team.
Drake May is a star.
Yep.
Jordan Love is a star.
Yep.
They don't have a star pass catcher.
Well, the Patriots, no.
No. Seattle does, but we'll get to that in a moment. Defensively, Christian Gonzalez is one of the best corners in football.
Their defensive line in the Patriots is very good.
Just all around good, but I don't know that you're pointing at Milton Williams and going, he's a star.
No, not specifically, but when those pieces all come together, it makes one of the better defensive lines, and that's what they were driven on.
But isn't that what the Packers lack then, I guess is my point, because they have a star in their defensive line.
Yes.
And it feels like everybody else are just Jags, right? Just a guy.
Yeah, I mean... The thing is, the defensive tackle downgraded because he had to trade years away to get Micah Parsons.
That's true.
So it's like...
And again, you make that trade every time.
Right. We all understand Kenny Clark would have been great for this team last year. Probably the perfect piece. But the opportunity cost was Micah Parsons. And you said, well, getting towards the end of his career here, he's probably only going to be impactful for another year, maybe 2 at the most. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you've got a guy who needed a contract and needed money. So what are you going to do with him?
Sign him in free agency. Bring him back.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to build through the draft. They have to.
I know
they have to have success.
from a money perspective too. Yeah.
I do think they probably will surprise you in free agency, and some people are like, "Whoa, I can't believe the Packers were able to get this done." And it's like, well, of course they did.
Yeah, that's become more regular under Goody.
Yes,
where he goes, okay, there's a free agent signing.
Yes.
Now last year again underwhelming, but Nate Hobbs and Aaron Banks.
Let's start putting the pieces together. Matt LaFleur given an extension. Brian Gutekunst given an extension. The only movement made for coaching changes has been, to this point, has been guys that were hired away, not guys you fired.
Yep.
So it seems like Ed Policy, Brian Gutekunst, and Matt LaFleur got together and said, I think we need better players.
Yeah, I think the agreement was we are not the issue.
Yeah.
The agreement was the coaches are good. We're good enough to run it back. We felt like we were Super Bowl good when 2 of our best players weren't injured, right? And Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons. And let's address some of the bugaboos.
We had some holes, but they were holes that were easily covered up when we had everything clicking. And that to me seems to be, so they're probably looking for depth and maybe a starter or two.
And I'm not certain that's flawed reasoning. I don't know that I agree with it. I would have made some changes.
Yes.
I mean, how much time have I spent on Adam Stenavich this offseason?
You've got hope.
I do?
Yeah, Seahawks might need an offensive coordinator. Steno was one of the top candidates there.
That's true. Clint Kubiak likely going to take the Raiders job after the Super Bowl, that coaching job. And Steno was their number 2 option last year. It's a great point that I actually didn't think about with that news.
You're welcome from my brain.
Well, that's why you're here, man. You're the best. But I
keep up the good work, Josh.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not holding that hope.
No, I mean,
I'm not holding that.
As I said on Friday, every day that it's not done is a day closer to him returning.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I've kind of just accepted that. But then again, I forgot about the Kubiak piece of this.
Do the Cardinals have an OC? Could LaFleur give his brother Steno?
Well, it wouldn't be an upgrade because LaFleur will be the play caller.
I saw something that Mike might not take on play calling duties for the Cardinals, though. There's a possibility.
Okay. And there's a possibility.
From his brother's mistakes?
I doubt it. Yeah. I would guess Seattle's his only chance left.
You don't think he says, "Hey, baby bro, this guy's great.
This guy's great.
I want you to get off to a good start in your tenure in Arizona. Here you go. I'll throw you a bone."
It's an idea.
How interesting would it have been in the world where, remember when Matt LaFleur tried to hire his brother?
Yeah, in 2019, his first season. And we were all like, okay, we don't really know how we feel about this hire yet, and now you're trying to hire your brother already. I mean, but look, and this is, I actually referenced to in an email I sent today, just how incestuous the NFL is. We're celebrating the fact that, as Packers fans, I guess celebrating might be strong, but
How did I get mentioned?
I just stole your line that the NFL is incestuous.
And didn't give him credit?
No, I did not give him credit in the email I sent. Sorry for not giving you credit in my email. That would be read by 3 people.
I was just looking for the context of what I was
I'll read you verbatim what I said.
Also, incestuous in a work email is a choice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not referring to actual incest. I'm referring to the NFL coaching
I know,
trace.
but if somebody just skims it and catches that word, like...
Well, was it a show related for KVM?
Yeah, it says brotherly love. Congratulations to Matt LaFleur's younger brother, Mike, who is now the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, replacing now Packers DC Jonathan Gannon. Boy, the NFL is incestuous, isn't it?
Good.
Pew, pew. Yeah, so...
Shots. Explosives. Explosives you can run.
So we'll see. On Hackett, not Hackett, rather Steno. We will see on if there's any changes to be made. I just, the further and further we get along, they're in the Super Bowl. Shouldn't they just promote somebody internally so Kubiak doesn't poach them? Like, that just seems like the easy option for Seattle. I think Steno will be back. And I think that's a mistake, but I think that's where we're at. And maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe he is excellent. But Sean Mannion getting hired over him for an OC play calling job in Philadelphia tells
us everything we need to know.
I think it just tells us that the league does not view Adam Stenavich as much of an up-and-comer as other people.
Other people being the Green Bay Packers?
All of the above, yeah.
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 Because, I mean, he had opportunity. Everybody went different directions.
But I guess on the flip side of that coin, couldn't the Packers... I mean, the Packers could have said, all right, Steno, goodbye. Mannion, we're going to promote you because we don't want to lose you to OC. And they didn't do that.
They could have because they apparently thought Steno was a better option than Mannion.
Yeah.
Clearly, the Eagles don't agree with that.
Yeah. So.
But also Nick Sirianni and, who hires there? Is it Sirianni? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know if I take Sirianni's word more than Matt LaFleur's.
Well, Roseman might hire too, because I think Roseman hired Gannon.
It's got to be Roseman. I feel like he makes all the important moves in that building.
Dude. He's really good. Howie, good name too.
Is it?
No. Well, if your name was Howard, would you be a Howie or would you be Howard?
I think gotta be.
He's a Joshy.
He is a Joshy. Great point. Huh. Will's on in his A game today. Yeah. I got to give it to him.
Wow.
You could call me Willie.
Can I?
Yeah. Woodstock Willie.
Woodstock Willie. You ever, wait, so Woodstock, the music festival, is where? New York?
Yes. Woodstock, New York. Yep. That's the city.
Well, I know, but he referenced Woodstock, Illinois earlier.
Yep.
So I just want to make sure I have this straight. Would you go to Woodstock?
The music festival?
Yeah, the one that happened in 1969. Do you think you would have made it there?
If Jimi Hendrix was playing and I was into him, probably. Probably go watch him.
Okay.
I don't know.
What about the one in 99? You familiar?
No.
Not as big of a
Famous
success.
debacle.
Yeah.
No, was not pretty.
Also, Woodstock is similar to the Ice Bowl, where if you hear how many people say that they were there, there would have been
totally
like
right
2
about
million
this.
people. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I did visit the city.
Great point by you. Did you?
Yeah. Nice little town.
Is there any like, statues or?
I didn't see statues, but the hippie influence amongst the city is clear and evident. There's tie-dye. There's, the people walking around. It seems like some people stopped in Woodstock and never left.
I mean, the way people talk about the 69 one.
Nice. It's legendary. It was like popular change to the world.
Mad City Bird chimes in. That's a little bit weird to call yourself Willie. Keep your safe words to yourself.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
PG show.
Yeah, a PG show. We're a family show.
Yeah,
family show.
absolutely a family show.
Does the Mike LaFleur thing matter to you at all?
No. No, it's been a trend now for 10 years or so.
Yep.
If you rub elbows with Sean McVay or
Kyle Shanahan, you're getting a job.
You are the next up.
Hmm?
Yeah, so no, none of that is surprising to me whatsoever, or really mean anything. I don't. Is he good? I don't know.
I don't either.
Half of them are really good. Half of them aren't.
Yeah, he wasn't a play caller though.
Right.
Mike LaFleur was not a play caller.
I would imagine
Not a decent offense.
I'd imagine he's probably pretty deft at it.
No, hold on. I don't mean this as a knock on Mike LaFleur. I actually mean this as a knock on Adam Stenavich. Is LaFleur interviews, not a play caller, with the Arizona Cardinals, gets the job. Stanovich's name was never brought up for that job.
It does seem...
Even though they were looking for the same thing.
When are we going to start accounting for the fact that... Now, how many people under McVay and Shanahan have been hired out to better jobs? And how many people... And then had success, and then how many people from LaFleur just sort of peter out?
You just answered your own question.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to answer that.
I mean, Hackett got hired for OC, and everyone went, what? Why?
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. And you mean as a head coach, right? When Hackett got hired as the...
Who's the OC in Miami?
It's not Hackett. He's the quarterback's coach.
Quarterback's coach. Gotcha.
I don't remember who it is off the top of my head. But it's not Hackett. But, again, I mean, that's a guy who went to Denver, flopped, went to New York, flopped, came back to Green Bay as like an analyst. Mm-hmm. Getsy, same thing, right? Getsy goes to Chicago, then to Vegas as OCs both times, comes back to Green Bay as an analyst. And he's likely, I would assume he's going to get that quarterback coach job. I would assume. He's still in the building, so makes sense, but we'll see. Hunter, what's on your mind?
Just because I put in the work here and I just want to actually say it on the air. You guys were asking about who makes the decisions in Philly, and it seems to be a collaborative effort with Sirianni and Roseman when it comes to the coaching side of things. So Sirianni does not get a full say in his staff.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Right.
I think Howie Roseman.
Because you also don't want to hire somebody that the coach doesn't want to work with.
Correct.
Like there's got to be some level of agreement there.
Yeah. So, anyway. All right, let's get to some Giannis news. And then we've got a couple things to clean up on from just the last couple of weeks on the show that I'd like to get to at some point. We're going to do an extended version of what we missed today. So we'll get to that in a little bit as well. But I want to spend some ample time on Giannis because we are 3 days away from the NBA trade deadline. It's Thursday. I think it's 4 Central, 5 Eastern. And look, the weekend rumor mill continued, right? Is it the Warriors? I saw the Bulls jumped up from, like to the favorite to land Giannis if he's traded at the deadline. There's all sorts of rumors. Have you heard anything about this? Why are the Bulls shooting up DraftKings odds?
I don't know. There was like a rumor that he was in Chicago yesterday, but that was a false video, so he wasn't actually in Chicago. I don't really know the reasoning. The Bulls were also the first team to come out last year and said they weren't interested in trading for
That's
Giannis.
right. That's
Like,
right.
Very,
This offseason, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very early before like the idea was even really being thrown around.
Don't listen or pay attention or give any credence to any of those alleged going to be traded to places that come out via sports books. Because first of all, they're not necessarily legal via the gaming commission. They oftentimes get fines for it. And two, it is a good way to do PR for your company.
I believe the way they phrased it on, I think it was DraftKings was the book that the odds jumped was, what uniform will Giannis be wearing the next minute after the trade deadline that he plays? Was the way that they phrased it.
Oh, I like that. That's clever. It's a good workaround.
Yeah, it's you shouldn't pay attention to it.
The Bulls rumor, I believe, was also because I thought I saw something come across Twitter that he and his family potentially bought like a $20 million property.
Oh, I did see this.
In Chicago.
I did see this.
Well, isn't it like an investment property?
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
it's apartments?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then there was also the rumor, or it wasn't even a rumor. His mom posted on Facebook a picture of
I did see
him
this
at
as well.
like a Miami Heat game when he was like 13 or something like that. So, yeah.
Love that.
Significant jump in odds, though. Really weird. It was like plus 6,000.
Hey,
Now
don't
they're,
pay
like, the
attention
most
to 'em.
likely.
You know
I'm just
why?
saying.
Because what did we just do?
We're giving them free PR.
Yeah, we mentioned their name.
Will, this is your fault. Even
Dang
though
it,
I'm the one
Will.
that mentioned their
And
name.
guess what? Guess what also makes sense? People in Milwaukee aren't far from Chicago. People from Chicago also take part here. So when you say, hey, I can get these odds at X, Y, and Z, well, maybe they'll throw some of their money to the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Will, do you like when Josh gets in his I know everything face?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's
I mean,
the worst
he's a-
version of
he's a-
Josh.
He's a real Debbie Downer.
Just discussing his story.
Buzzkill DiMaggio.
It's just, this happens all the time, and people always get manipulated, and they always end up giving the company free advertising.
Well, you just put the rumor to sleep, so it's a good thing we addressed it.
Buzzkill DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Strikes again.
Yep.
Yeah.
If that's what I have to be to finally, hopefully, make it make sense to somebody after yelling it into the void for the better part of 7 years now,
Keep up the good work, Josh.
maybe this time it'll stick.
Keep up the good work, Josh. Let's hear from Doc Rivers, who joined ESPN's countdown ahead of their awful game yesterday, which I had the pleasure of watching.
Didn't even score 80.
It was their season low in points, 79 points, in a loss at Boston. Dude, they are a tough watch right now.
I mean, everybody's quitting.
I think they've won 3 games without Giannis this season.
I
He's
believe that's
missed
correct.
a considerable amount of time.
Oh, yeah, it's embarrassing basketball.
People keep saying they should tank. What do you mean? They are.
They already
They're
are
doing it.
Well, they've left Doc Rivers employed, and
Man. I mean, isn't that part of tanking?
that's
He
what I'm saying.
clearly wants out.
There's no point in firing him mid-season
guy-
if you're not trying to actually win.
That guy wants to be fired so bad and keep collecting those checks.
Yeah, and he'll go do some media work, which apparently he's still doing occasionally as he joins ESPN yesterday before the game to talk about the Giannis rumors. Here's what the Bucks head coach had to say yesterday.
Giannis has said everything that we need to hear, that he wants to be a Buck, he loves the city, and that's all I can go by as a coach right now. Has it been difficult? Yeah, your players every day have to hear stuff every single day about not just their best player, but they're thrown in the mix as well. My favorite day of the year this year will be the day after the trade deadline. That'll be my favorite day because I think everyone will be here and we can get to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that.
There's Doc Rivers yesterday. Look, I appreciate him addressing the rumors with comedy and laughing because I imagine as the head coach of this team, this has been annoying and stressful and all the in-betweens. But at this point, as it stands, I think it's as real as it's ever been, but it still likely will make the most sense for if the Bucks will move on from Giannis to do it in the offseason. You have more clarity on picks and assets and what is justifiable for other teams and also for yourself to get ahead for moving on from your best player in franchise history. I don't think it makes sense to trade him on Thursday or by Thursday. Now, I'm not ruling it out, but I don't know that it makes the most sense to do it by Thursday. But that's Doc. saying his favorite day will be the day after the trade deadline because Giannis says he wants to be in Milwaukee. Is that coach speak?
He's lying. Nobody believes that. Come on. Look at where we are, where this is all gone to. Do I think there's chance he's traded in the offseason? Certainly. You have to factor that in because of the way it would benefit the Bucks. But did Giannis say that in the past? Probably.
Yeah.
Has he said it recently to Doc in any meaningful way? Since all these reports started leaking?
Unlikely.
Yeah.
I would say this, though. I do think Giannis wants to be in Milwaukee. I do. I do have that belief.
Not to be ass.
Bingo. He wants his team not to stink.
Yeah.
And we talked about this very briefly on Sunday Karma yesterday, and I think we've talked about it across all of our shows. But Matthew chimes in. Are the Bucks the worst roster 2 through 15 in the league? I legit can't think of someone worse. And
yeah, I mean, we also have to factor in, like, those guys were brought here to play with Giannis. So, of course...
Right, but
they're built around.
Like
Giannis.
if I said Washington, right? If you want Washington's 2 through 15 or Milwaukee's 2 through 15, you're picking Washington's.
I couldn't name 2 through 15 in Washington.
You can name a couple.
Chris Middleton.
Yeah,
he might be one. I don't know.
right. So, I'm just throwing out random teams that are not very good. Like they're better positioned 2 through 15 than the Bucks.
Sacramento might be worse.
Yeah, I mean, there's teams that have worse records.
I know that, but the Bucks' record without Giannis tells you where this thing's headed. Especially if you operate with the understanding that we are operating with, which is he won't play again.
Pluck the best player out of the bottom half of the league.
And by the way, Sacramento, they're just beat up. They've got their starting five, ideally, is Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, DeAndre Hunter, DeMar DeRozan, DeMontis Sabonis.
Okay, I didn't realize that those guys were on that roster. I literally just looked at the standings and was like, it's Sacramento. So that's how little I
just
pay
named
attention
several
to the
pieces
NBA.
you wouldn't.
I mean, look at the Pacers.
Now, without Tyrese, that's a rough roster.
Yeah.
But Nembhard, you'd be fine with. Nesmith, you'd be fine with. Those are guys who are awesome against the Bucks in the postseason. He'd be their one technically with.
And that's taken them all the way to 13 wins.
Yeah. I want TJ McConnell in Milwaukee. Old and slow. Cam Jones, has he played it all for them this year?
Rarely, I think.
Okay.
He gets some tick at the end of games and blowouts.
Some tick.
Yeah.
I like that.
NBA guy, Will.
Yeah.
All right, I want official predictions. Will Giannis be traded before the NBA trade deadline? Hunter, I will start with you.
Oh, man. No, I don't think so. Because I think the Bucks want to know what they're going to get, even though it's better for Giannis to get traded before the deadline.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to say no. It's going to take a lot of negotiating. It might even take a third team to be involved to organize all the specifics of the monies and the draft picks. So I don't think they get that done.
I like that. The monies. Joshy.
I'm going to say yes, he is traded. One, because I don't want us all to agree that's boring. And two, I do believe that the reports about counter offers and offers being made is like legit.
It tells you there's some traction.
Right. It tells me that maybe the Bucks are trying to, and the one side of the before the deadline or in the offseason is if you force a team's hand and make them rush, they might make a decision that they have less time to think about. Mm-hmm. And a decision that might be less advised for them and more beneficial towards the Bucks.
Okay, I'm a little bit taken aback, though, for a moment, because you led with, I just don't want us all to agree. Which makes me feel like you don't think he's going to be traded by the deadline.
I think there's a better chance that maybe people are treating us. Let's put it as that.
That I don't disagree with.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50, man. Like, I think it's truly up in the air on what will happen over the course of the next 72 hours. The Bucks clearly are more open to it than they ever have been, and it's not close. The fact that there is reports, to your point, on counteroffers, and they're answering and certainly listening to a bunch of offers from teams we don't even know about. But I know, like, the Warriors are a team that's been reported as very aggressive. They have 4 first-round picks they could fully trade to Milwaukee on top of some players like Kuminga and Pods and ultimately, just from a salary perspective, Jimmy Butler. who maybe you could then flip for another first-round pick. And then all of a sudden you're trying to take the page out of the playbook of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that is just stack as many first-round picks as you can for the near future and hope you can somehow build what it looks like it will be for Oklahoma City is a dynasty out of it. OKC is so young and so up and coming, and they've already won a title, and they've got one of the best players in the world, and that is the recipe I guess you're going to try to duplicate if you do move on from a generational talent like Giannis. And to see all these reports coming out makes me think, I think what we're going to hear on Thursday is there was a deal on the table, and ultimately they just couldn't get it in time because the Bucks wouldn't make a decision. So I think the answer's no, but I think there's going to be legitimate traction that we will hear about for the next 4 months, whether that's with Golden State or another team. I think it's going to get really close, but I think it doesn't happen. And that's where I land on this.
I don't know how we left off the Brooklyn Nets for worst 2 through 15.
Okay, so
Nick Claxton, Noah Clowney, Terrence Mann, Igor Denham, Cam Thomas, Zaire Williams, Danny Wolf, Drake Powell, Nolan, and now it's names I don't even recognize.
I don't even recognize the first 10 you just went through.
Yeah, so MPJ, I guess, would be technically their number one.
Yes.
Yeah, Nets is a good one. That might be the only one worse.
This entire conversation just makes me realize how little I pay attention to the NBA. I just can't get into it. I was far
you
more
just gotta
locked
get to
in.
the playoffs.
Yeah. And then, I'll just watch because I'm like, oh, okay, we'll get some close games, some entertaining basketball at that level. But, I was locked in on that Illinois-Nebraska game yesterday for college basketball. I don't get how people get locked in on the NBA. I don't get it. I can't understand.
Dude, I'll tell you
it.
this. I'll just say this. That Bucks game was a really hard watch. It was a really hard watch. The Celtics don't have Jason Tatum.
They're still good this year, though.
Yeah,
They've been
Jalen Brown's
very good.
Jalen Brown's a
'cause
very good basketball.
Boston is a really good organization, so they know how to actually build a team well. It's crazy what happens when you run a team well.
107-79 last night. The Bucks shot 29% from outside, which is certainly below what you typically expect for a team that's actually still, I think, either first or second in three-point percentage this year. They shot 35% from the field overall. A lot of these guys didn't play meaningful minutes. Like Thanasis got out there for 3 minutes. Jericho Sims, Amir Coffey were out there for 4 minutes. But you got 15 minutes out of Cole Anthony, who shot 1 of 7. You got 25 minutes out of Gary Trent, who shot 2 for 8, 2 of 7 from outside. Miles Turner was 2 for 8. The only Buck that you watched and was like, okay, there might be something there is Ryan Rollins. 25 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal. He's a fun up-and-comer. That's a piece you want to keep around, but
off of your point,
not a ton of them.
Strouf, about the fact that this team was built to then have Giannis. How many of those shot attempts for Cole Anthony were contested since you actually watched the game? Because I would guess that they were probably, a lot of them were contested shots that normally wouldn't have been because Giannis is drawing double and triple teams.
So hold on, ask the initial question again.
How many of Cole? You said Cole Anthony went 1 of 7.
Yeah.
How many of those shots were contested? Because I'm guessing he normally wouldn't have to deal with that. You watched the game. I'm just asking.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Watch is probably strong. I had it on.
Okay,
but
so you
by
were
the time
scrolling
Cole
through
Anthony was
TikTok.
playing in the fourth quarter. Yeah, by the time Cole Anthony was playing in the fourth quarter, I was not actively watching.
Okay.
I more so had it on in the background, to see how low they were going to score. Because I looked at about halftime. Because they were fine at halftime. I think they had 40-something, 42 maybe at halftime. And I said, okay, that times 2 is 84. Well, I wonder what their lowest of the season is. And then they only scored 20 points in one quarter last night. Scored 26 in the first, 16, 19, 18. They couldn't score points.
I saw in the app they started on a 9-0 run, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
a 12-0
that's cool."
run.
Oh,
12-0 run.
Excuse me.
It was the game was 12-0, and they only scored 79 points and lost by 28. Yeah, that's the Bucks for you.
Ugh.
All right. Extended version of what we missed, what we learned. Got a lot of cleanup to do on this program. So, I've got a bone to pick with Josh. Josh probably has a bone to pick with me.
What else is new?
We've got some things to figure out. So, Friday, the three of us in Milwaukee, Will, Josh, and myself, we got to spend some quality time with each other. It was our buddy Gabe Neitzel's birthday. We went to a little birthday gathering for him. And then the three of us even secondary locationed it. Mm-hmm. We went and had a few brewskis at a local tavern. Mussolini was there.
Was indeed.
Lovely to see her. I'm a big fan of hers. Mm-hmm. And I was chatting with her about something.
Okay.
And it turned out to be the first she had heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
Which was that Josh lost our season-long NFL picks over a month ago now. Mm-hmm. Has to spend a weekend at Will's apartment.
And Mussolini was never familiar. Playoffs.
Oh, I'm aware, Hunter. Mussolini was never made aware that this needed to happen.
Yeah. No, this is definitely...
Until I talked to her.
First of all, I want to thank you for telling her, because this wouldn't have gone well if I was the one to break the news to her. It went a lot better that it came from you.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
But you should have told me that a month ago.
Well,
she seemed almost happy.
Yeah, she was. She acted happy in front of us. She was showing off, is what was happening. She does love Josh, despite the way she talks about him in front of us. Yes.
Me being gone for 24 hours puts more work on her and allows her to do...
Yeah, 48. I don't know where you're getting 24 from.
Allows her to do less of what she wants to do.
You show up Friday night, you leave Sunday.
That's what you think.
You spend 2 nights at Will's.
If we go back and look at the record, I believe we corrected to 20.
I amended it for you because you were being difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's amended.
I do think there's a certain point where if Josh keeps not doing this, every weekend that he doesn't do it, we add on 30 minutes to how long he has to be there.
That's actually a great idea. That's a great idea. But if he doesn't pay it off by a certain date, we're going to need to come up with an alternative.
Aren't you supposed to pay off a bet this week?
I was about to get there. So I also owe a bet, which was a quick one we made, and I don't know that we've revisited because a lot of things happen in Packers world from the time that happened to now. So back on it was Will's birthday, which I think is December 20th.
Yes.
It was Packers at Bears. We made the agreement that I would perform in solo flash mob style, which is so much worse than Josh's bet. Solo flash mob style, the Napoleon Dynamite dance. Mm-hmm. Admittedly, I have not.
I think if we check the record,
I have not practiced yet. However,
we can find me saying if Strouf loses, he's never going to do the practice.
Oh no, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll pay it off. Now we initially said I need to pay it off by the Super Bowl, but I think we just need to come to an agreement. This would be a great way to kick off Joshy's weekend with Will. I'll do it the moment you head to his apartment. I'll pay it off first.
Well, we have to be here for it.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll have a round, and then you guys go have your weekend together.
Yeah, I'm going to need to check the old calendar and see if this is going to fit in. I got a trip coming up.
That's awesome, dude. I'm happy for you. Where you headed?
I'm going to New Orleans.
I was going to say
right.
Will's
Nice.
apartment.
Little Jazz Fest.
The Big Easy.
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to the Big Easy?
The 18th, 19th, and 20th
of this month?
21st, yes.
Oh, so we're both off the same week?
Apparently. News to me.
Oh, that's good.
Wait, Josh, are you going for Jazz Fest?
No, I am going as part
Post
of...
Mardi Gras? That's after Mardi Gras, isn't it?
Sure.
Do you know nothing?
No. I had nothing to do with planning the trip. I bought a ticket, and then I'm going to get to New Orleans and say, all right, where are we going? What are we doing?
If you don't have all your meals planned, there is the best fried chicken I've ever had in my life down there, and I'll send you the place.
I regret to inform you that every stop has been planned thus far. We're down to the hour of everything. That's a Mussolini thing.
Please keep going on your agenda. I'm really interested, and I'm sure the audience is.
Well said, Will. Well said.
This was more interesting than somebody talking about his fantasy football team, so.
Who was talking about the fantasy football team?
Just when you do it in general, but
Yeah.
then yell at everyone else for doing it.
Yep.
Well, that just seemed like an unnecessary shot.
Hypocrisy.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you did.
I'm trying to.
Brought us here.
I'm trying to show the MIA that we are worth what we say we will do. And I was thoroughly disappointed in you to figure out that Mussolini was never made aware of you, A, losing, and B, because she probably just thinks you're a total winner, and B, that you're trying to not pay off a bet you agreed to pay off in September.
Yeah. First of all, I was never even factored into. I didn't even know we were doing picks until I was asked to do them on the program. And then there was a punishment, found out that I didn't see any pinky promises.
Pinky promises, we talked about it on the air. You helped come up with the idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because I'm an ideas guy.
Yeah, we literally reviewed the segment with our manager. Like, what are you talking about? You didn't know about it.
I'm an ideas guy. I'm an ideas guy.
Not an execution guy, apparently.
No.
Not a follow-through guy.
Not when it comes to spending that much time at someone else's house. I don't know if you understand this. I don't want to be doing anything anyone else wants to be doing.
You barely want to do what you want to do.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Half the time I agree to do something like, well, I wish I would have done this.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And Friday night when I was talking to Mussolini about you losing was probably one of those moments.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So Joshy's maybe going to pay this off at some point.
So, Josh, I've got a follow-up question here.
Yep.
What do you and Mussolini talk about then? Because, like, I tell my wife about, like, everything that happens on the shows.
Oh, I don't go that far, but I would say stuff like this, I would definitely fill her in.
I mean, obviously, like, yeah, I'm not telling her, like, yeah, we talked about, like, Giannis and, you know, the LaFleur brothers, but, like, the fact that we're doing game picks.
About? Current events, what we're going to do on the weekend, how we're going to handle.
I like how he started that with, what do we talk about?
Higher learning.
Yeah, you know, what happened. Like, I generally don't talk about any of the shows I'm on with her.
So she doesn't know.
She used to listen to everything, and now she doesn't listen really to anything anymore, which is the way I prefer it.
Yeah, she's tuckered out.
Yeah,
she heard her get made fun of too much, and she gave up. Yeah.
Even though secretly we all know she likes the nickname. It gives her a character. She became part of the story. Gabe's mom approached her and said, "You don't look like a Mussolini to me."
That did happen.
Yeah,
that did happen.
Yeah.
Very good.
Not the first, second, third, or the last time that she will be referred to as Mussolini by a total stranger.
All right, we have a couple other things to address. You have Will completely figured out.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's true. I witnessed Hunter. Hunter, you might pee yourself when you hear this story. So we're at the bar, and Will says, "Hey, Strouf, can you grab me a beer? I just don't want this or this. I want something a little bit lighter." And I said, "Sure." And then he kept saying, "Surprise me, surprise me, surprise me." So,
which, by the way, anybody who says "surprise me" about anything, I hate it.
I also hate it.
Hate it. Hate it.
And I saw they had a beer I drank a lot of in college on tap, Hams.
Land of the Sky Blue Waters.
Bingo. Nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
They had Hams on tap.
I don't know if I've drank a Hams while over age.
So I got the beer on tap, and I set it down by Will, and he goes, what is this? And I said, guess. I want you to guess. And he passes it to his roommate, who's with us. And his roommate goes, it tastes like a German lager.
Yeah.
Which I go, what is this? Does this guy think I bought him like a double IPA? What are we doing here? We're at a dive bar. And Will finally takes a few sips, makes a few guesses, gets them all wrong, and he gets up to go look what's on tap. Joshy turns to me. Hunter, I swear to God this happened. Joshy turns to me and goes, he's going to come back and call it Hams. He's going to pronounce it Hams.
I said he's going to go up there, realize it's a ham, and pronounce it Hams.
6 seconds later, Will walks back to the table we're sitting at and goes, "Oh, it's a Hams." Josh grabbed me by both of my shoulders and just started shaking.
It all happened in such quick succession that both of our eyes got so large to Strouf and I, and Barstool's next to each other, like, wow, he really knew exactly how he was going to mispronounce Ham's beer.
I thought you guys were just doing that because I got it right.
No.
Will, does it hurt your feelings that you're that
No.
basic and simple?
Predictable.
No. It's one of my best qualities.
I just knew, I've heard Will try and pronounce words on this program a lot. I've spent a lot of time around Will at work and sometimes outside of work. And something about that double M to me screamed he's gonna
Mispronunciation.
Yeah. He's gonna screw the pooch on this one. He's going to go Homs. He's gonna add an extra A.
Now,
or an
Josh,
umlaut.
just think about how much better you'd know him if you spent an entire weekend at his apartment.
Great point, Hunter. Great point.
I think I might know too much.
Dude, it was truly.
I've never in my life seen anybody predict somebody's mispronunciation of a 4-letter word.
I thought it was a plan. I thought you guys had a bit planned out. Somehow we landed. I was blown away by that moment. And Will just doing Will stuff. Okay, I have one more thing I want to cover with you. And we kind of started the show here, but it's a little history lesson.
Oh no!
On Groundhog's Day. So I know you're anti-Groundhog's Day, but I think I might win you over with this because there's some beef in the Groundhog's Day community that's been going on now for 74 years. It's big time. So, Will, you said you're anti-Sun Prairie Jimmy.
Yeah, stupid name.
And you're pro-Punxsutawney Phil, which
Nope.
you... Whoa. What do you
I'm
mean?
pro Puxatawny Phil saying what I don't want to happen because he's wrong all the time. He's an idiot.
Did you just call a groundhog an idiot?
Yeah, I'd do it again.
Did he stutter?
Will tweeted 3 hours ago. Breaking, Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow and there will be 6 more weeks of winter, sources tell me.
Well, usually Adam Schefter does it, and he did not do it this year, so I had to step up and do it.
Oh, so you tried to replace Shefty.
No, I was just doing work that he forgot to do.
Okay. It got 1 like. Was it worth it?
I didn't do it for likes. I do it for info.
Well
It's
said.
called news breaking.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah, something I don't know nothing about. So, Sun Prairie and Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, have the 2 longest running United States Groundhog Day traditions, or 2 of the longest.
And they both claim theirs is longer.
Sort of, yes, but that's actually not why it really
Or
matters.
do they say concurrent because one year they skipped it or had to?
Well, not even concurrent. So this is the 78th annual. Today was Groundhog's Day celebration in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. But a feud kind of came out between the 2 of them back in 1952. So next year will be 75 years of this beef between Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. So Punxsutawney wrote an article about how they are where all the great groundhog things happen in the United States, describing Sun Prairie, Wisconsin as, quote, remote 2-cow village buried somewhere in the wilderness. At the 4th annual celebration in 1952 for Sun Prairie, they then gave themselves the nickname the groundhog capital of the world. That's how they shot back at Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. So Sun Prairie recognizes itself as the groundhog capital of the world after Punxsutawney described Sun Prairie as a remote 2-cow village buried somewhere in the wilderness. And these 2 have been going back and forth on who has the better Groundhog's Day celebration for 74 years. So does beef get you interested?
No.
That was a really fast response.
Yeah, as you can tell here, I've turned my attention to my computer or I'm watching a man hand-build concrete blocks because I was that disinterested in what you were describing.
Well, any thoughts on the beef?
I just don't think that's accurate that they're the 2 longest running. I'm seeing that Octoraro Orphe in Pennsylvania has more than Jimmy the Groundhog. And Wiretarn Willie in Ontario has more than Jimmy the Groundhog. I don't know. What are they arguing about Jimmy the Groundhog and Punxsutawney Phil? Punxsutawney Phil is...
Which one's more elite, effectively? It's like LeBron versus Jordan.
I mean,
It's Jimmy versus Punxsutawney Phil.
Been around longer or elite?
I think elite is
Accuracy?
more so.
Also, the fact that it's now in Sun Prairie, the mayor gets up and says he learned how to speak groundhog, and the groundhog just tells him if it's going to be a long winter or not. Like, why are we doing this? What's the point?
That's fair. Are you familiar that 11 years ago Jimmy bit the mayor?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, bit him in the ear.
Yeah. Probably should have been an indication of, I don't know if this is so wise.
Well, there you go.
Because you've seen Puxatawny, too. They're, like, holding it, and he's, like, losing control. They dropped one and killed it, didn't they?
That I'm unfamiliar with. That I need more info on.
The way
So we're
that
anti-Groundhog's
Josh
Day.
just shot towards his computer, for those not watching on YouTube, I've never seen that much enthusiasm for Josh to look something up.
It was actually Mayor Bill de Blasio dropped a groundhog named Charlotte, serving as a Staten Island Chuck. The groundhog, which fell from the mayor's hands, died a week later on February 9th, 2014.
Jeez.
From acute internal injuries consistent with the fall.
Jeez. You thought that put an end to all of them around the country. Wow. Well, this was good. I got it all off my chest.
Are we better for it? No.
I think we are.
That's one man's opinion.
I think my opinion matters more.
I think next year on this show, we got to get the mayor of Sun Prairie and the guy for Puxatawny Phil on the show together. Get a nice first take
75th
debate.
anniversary of the beef?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually love that idea. I think I'm going to make a documentary about it. Would you watch it?
No.
Okay. Would you help me?
No.
Well,
If I got to meet Woodstock Willie, I'd do it.
we could get Woodstock Willie's comments on the beef.
I only recognize Woodstock Willie.
I still don't know who this is.
Yeah,
Staten
that'd be
Island
like
Chuck,
getting
the
Isaiah
other-
Thomas on the Last
Yeah.
Dance.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
Staten Island Chuck also hits at 85%. He's the most accurate groundhog.
All right, we're done here. We will talk to you on
Dude,
Wednesday
that's like
beginning at
Steph Curry
12:30.
numbers.
It's impressive.
1 day closer, 2 days closer, I guess, on Wednesday to the NBA trade deadline. Will Giannis be a buck?
Well, while we wasted all that time, the Brewers do have a TV home.
Hey.
MLB.
Yep.
MLB.
Going to be available on TV and your streaming services. So it's just going to fill in and going to be broadcast and produced by the MLB.
Interesting. I need to read more into that, I guess, but what do you mean by it'll be available on your streaming services?
Like through the MLB
So you'd need to get the MLB app.
subscription.
And it will not be on FanDuel.
It will not, because I don't know if FanDuel actually exists.
It'd be nice if they could get
Well,
a deal
the
with
Bucks
YouTube
still play on there.
TV.
That's true.
Yeah.
That would be nice. I agree. That's what I have. Interesting.
Yeah, it says it's going to be like available through your cable subscriber, to whatever you use for cable, and then on the streaming platform that they have.
So if I have YouTube TV, I should be able to get it because I live in the market.
I believe so. Yes.
That'd be wonderful. That'd be wonderful. Dr. Denver Dan chimes in with Giannis rumors are the epitome of Groundhog's Day. I think that's a good place to end. It's a good place to end.
It show would have been better if we ended before the whole beef.
I have beef with you.
Good.
We'll talk to you on Wednesday beginning at 12:30. ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube Live. And, of course, if you missed the show, you can get the audio version wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, the ESPN Wisconsin app. Good job today, everybody. We'll talk to you on Wednesday. Peace.